Hey, what's going on everyone? This is Mike Kollin at the School of Awesome. Okay, so I came across a short video on Facebook and it was a Christian guy talking about Christian stuff and all the Christians joined in. And it is unbelievably how off course every single person on that page was. They were all talking about being covered up and hiding from God, and I'm like, wait, what? No, that was the trick of the devil. The entire Bible comes down to one thing. You're either hiding from God or you're open and you're with God. I'm going to make this really clear because when I talk about it, I can understand it might seem confusing, but everything I'm saying is I'm saying one single thing. Either you were tricked by the serpent, a narcissist, to hide from your emotions, thus hiding from God, and you're stuck in your logical left brain, and you're closed, which is the closed brain, or the doorway between the left and right brain is open, and now you have access to the emotional, creative, spiritual brain, which is the open doorway to God. That's it. I'm going to let this sit just for a second so your brain can just hear. You're either open or you're hiding. You're either open or you're closed. So as I've said before, I'm going to kind of go into some evidence in the book chapter 2 Genesis verse 25, the very last verse of chapter 2 in Genesis. It says, so first of all, they're in the garden with God. They're learning, they're developing, they're growing, they're interacting with God. It said they're naked and they were not ashamed, meaning, do you think God is so stupid to go, oh, by the way, you're naked and you're not supposed to be? No, God's not dumb. God knows they're naked, and that's a good thing. Now, what is naked really? What is the symbology of naked? It means to be open emotionally to God. Now, here's the deal. You can close off to people if you want, especially people that are mean. Now, the more you learn how to truly ground your energy, because when you're grounded, you don't get hurt by insults. You don't get hurt by people. It's when you're not grounded, that's when you get hurt. See, when you're grounded, your energy is down inside your body and the space around you. It's like having a 2-liter bottle of Coca-Cola and it's completely full. Well, other people's energy can't penetrate through because the energy's in there. Most people don't walk around like that because most people don't ground themselves. They don't even know that there's a way to do it. Most people's energy is like the bottle cap is off and it's up above them and like an upside down pyramid or triangle. So now people can push their energy in you and now you can feel their energy. So generally you feel their pain, their hurt, their anger, their shame, their guilt. And that's what a lot of us do is we take on other people's energy. But when you allow yourself to drop back down inside, that's why I call it internal awareness. This is why Jesus says, look within. Because when you look within, it brings your awareness inside and you are tuned in to intuition, to greater knowledge, to seeing how the right brain is the bigger picture brain. You see how the pieces of the puzzle come together, how they fit together, and now you see the picture. So in chapter 3 Genesis, it's really, really clear. I'm going to make it really simple. Serpent comes along, lies to them, tricks them, and says, hey, it's okay to eat of the forbidden fruit. Now, here's the funny thing. I see people on Facebook all the time. Oh, if your God is so great, why doesn't he want you to have knowledge? Why doesn't he want you to be intelligent? It never says doesn't. It literally means don't get stuck in the logical left brain. When you get your emotions hurt, and here's the funny thing. These people, these intellectual, logical people, they always attack you emotionally. Because that hurts you and it gets you stuck in what you do. See, when you get hurt emotionally, eventually you run away from your emotions and you hide behind your logic. And that's what these people have done. And thus they've closed off to their power, to their love, to their happiness, to their joy, to living life. So the serpent comes along and tricks them. Oh, surely God doesn't want you to eat the forbidden fruit. Well, what is the forbidden fruit? It means to get stuck in the logical left brain. In that forehead where your eyes are tight, your forehead's tight, and you're linear, logical all the time. It's either or right or wrong. There's no love. There's no compassion. Why is love and compassion important? Because it opens you up and expands your awareness so you can see all the pieces and how they fit together versus one piece saying, oh, that one piece is wrong. Well, yeah, but connected to the other pieces, oh, I see the bigger picture now. Oh, okay. So immediately after, God comes in the garden and it says, and they hid. This is mankind hiding from God. Well, how do you do that? You run to your logical brain and you hide from your emotions, because the right brain is the open door. The left brain is literally called the closed system. It's literally it's in the box thinking. When people say, hey man, think outside of the box, they literally mean, now they probably don't mean this because they don't actually know what it means. What they mean is think the way I think in my closed box. So change your thinking the way I think. That's not what it means. It means open up to the right brain. Because the right brain is the open system. People that are right brain, the reason why it's creative, because you can see all the options and possibilities from there. You can't do that from the left brain. The only thing you have is what's inside the box. You can't go outside of the box. Because the belief is anything that's outside of the box is not real. Well, that's absolutely not true. The reason why they say be open-minded is because the right brain literally is the open door. So you can see other ideas and possibilities. Now I'm going to get to this YouTube short really quick here, but I want to make something really clear. When I finally learned how to, and it was from meditation, I finally woke up. Going to church every Sunday in the morning, afternoon, evening, going to Bible study twice a week, read my Bible every day, and meditating and praying every day very, very deeply. When I popped open, something different happened. I started reading the Bible and everything started to make sense. It became very simple. It wasn't like, well, you know, so-and-so says, but what about Ezekiel 3:12? And, you know, that says the opposite of Matthew 13, verse 2. Okay, here's what I'm trying to say. The left brain is the divider brain. It separates things. So one thing I teach men when they come to my course, Cracked Female Code, is the left brain there's a funny comedy guy. He's a relationship coach, actually, older guy, kind of balding on top. Has a really funny YouTube video. I can't think of his name, but he goes, men, no, keep the boxes separate. And all the women start to laugh because they know it's true. Like, don't connect these boxes. Don't put what's in this box and take it out of there and put it in this box. Don't do that. And all the women laugh, because it's so true. Men want to keep every subject and everything separate. That's because that's the way the left brain functions. It separates and divides everything. Now, in and of itself, I'm not saying this is a bad thing, because there are some positive uses to it, like business, math, and science. But when it comes to love, relationships, family, children, God, spirit, that's very, very bad. It causes sickness and illness and toxicity and all the bad things on the planet. The right brain is the emotional, creative, spiritual brain. It's also connected to your heart. It's love. What did Jesus say to the Samaritan woman up on the at the water well? He said, "Spirit and truth." And she laughed and she was, really? Because she goes, where do we pray? Because you Jews came in and you said we can only pray at the temple, and you don't let us go down there because we're unclean, and you know, all that stuff. And we used to pray up on that mountain, and I think it was Abraham. And she goes, Abraham came before you, and blah, 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 blah. And he said, one day, I forget how he said it, but basically he said, I've come to basically make it to where you can pray to God anywhere, as long as it's from spirit and truth. And the woman grinned and she smiled, and it's like, finally. The left brain is the mechanical brain. It's the business brain. It's math, business, science. It's logic. It has nothing to do with God or spirit. So to eat of the forbidden fruit means to get stuck. Close the door between the left and right hemisphere. That's what it means. But if you leave the door open and information can flow freely, that's good. But a lot of these people, okay, we had a guy in church, had his doctorate degree in biblical studies, and he wasn't a pastor. He wasn't even an associate pastor. The church elders like, no. He argued every lunch, every Sunday, after church, before church, every Bible study we went to. He argued and disagreed about everything. And I finally look at Pastor X, I go, what's his deal? He goes, that's just the way he is. The logical brain is the either-or brain. It's good for the scientific method. You test A versus B. There's no other possibility. Well, in reality, there's billions, trillions, gazillions of possibilities. But when you're testing something, you want to find out what works and what doesn't work. So you have to narrow it down to A or B testing. And we even do that on our websites. And that's a good thing. But when it comes to understanding bigger ideas, guess what brain you should use? Yep, the right brain. So this guy was so far in his left brain, he couldn't see, I don't know how do you say that, between the rules or between the words. He couldn't see the bigger picture. So essentially, I would, pretty much stand up for Pastor Rex merely by standing next to him. But I started to really listen to what this guy was saying, and I remember, Sunday after Sunday or whatever. And one day he said something, he goes, well, yeah, but it says this in the book of Revelation, verse this, chapter this, verse that. And I looked at him like, wait a minute, just last week you were arguing the complete opposite. You literally, I forget what he pulled up, but maybe it was Genesis or who knows what book. And I said, you literally quoted blah, 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 blah. I go, that's complete. And he went, he just turned and walked away. Pastor Rex looked at me. He goes, good for you. Because the guy, he didn't really have a mission of understanding. He just had a mission of, I want to be right and I want to prove that you're wrong. He didn't care what was right or wrong. See, it had nothing to do with right or wrong. It had to do with, I'm going to prove you wrong. And that's what happens when you get stuck in the left brain. You literally argue against yourself. All right, so I'm going to get to this short I found. I think it was on YouTube, actually. Hold on. Okay, see in the image, there's a guy there. The guy who's talking in big, bold letters across the middle. It says, God still covers us. Covers? Wait a minute. Adam and Eve went into the garden. They ate of the forbidden fruit, and the serpent convinced them, like, yeah, you're naked. Well, it means open emotionally, okay? And he told them it was wrong. So symbolically, they covered up with fig leaves. So what does that mean? It means they're covering up. It means they're hiding. This is not a good thing that the serpent taught them to do, to cover up. This is not good. Immediately after, just go read chapter 3. Immediately after that, it says God came into the garden, the cool of the day, the cool of the morning, or whatever it says. And then it says, and they hid, meaning Adam and Eve hid from God. And then God calls out and says, Adam and Eve, where art thou? And Adam says, we're hiding. They're what? They're hiding from God. They're covering up. Meaning they're closing the door to the right brain. Because when you open up to your right brain, that's how you access God. That's how you access your intuition, your spirit, your truth, your love. The right brain is the emotional, creative, spiritual brain. It's also the love and relationship and social brain. It's the brain you're supposed to be in when you're connecting with other people, when you're supposed to be loving towards each other, when you're supposed to be open to God. So here's the deal. I'm going to make it real blunt again. The whole goal was for you to open up to God. That was the intention, because something called a serpent, what we now in modern days call a narcissist, by the way, this has been done to you too, is the serpent or narcissist came along and it closed Adam and Eve up and it caused them to feel ashamed. And that's what it says. It says, oh, now that they know they're naked, it says, and they were ashamed. They became ashamed because they were lied to. See, when you feel ashamed, so guilty means you feel bad about what you did. Feeling ashamed means you feel bad about who you are, which is even worse because now you're like, oh my God, I'm embarrassed, and you close up from God. God wants you to be open to Him. That's the whole reason why they sacrificed the animals in the Old Testament. Because we're going to kill this animal. Because when you're in your left brain, that's the rules brain. Rules, organization, and structure. And it's the either or, right or wrong. It's okay, well, if I kill this perfectly clean animal, then I'm going to be forgiven. So if I murder something and cause it to bleed out, which is disgustingly gross and satanic, then God will forgive me. And I remember I literally said to the church, I was an associate pastor, by the way, in Mountain View, California. And I literally said, I go, so killing an innocent animal somehow makes God go, oh, okay, well, I forgive you then. God never judged you. You judged you. You need to forgive yourself so you can open back up. you need to realize the people that have shamed you and said this is wrong, that is bad, that's the same thing as the serpent in the garden. It told Adam and Eve, oh, by the way, did you know you're naked? Because, okay, afterwards when Adam says we're hiding, God says, why are you hiding? And Adam says, because we're naked. And God says, who told thee that thou was naked? In other words, who told you that? Who said that? Who made that up? The serpent did, the narcissist did. If you've dealt with a narcissist, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They'll convince you that the job that you've been doing for 10 years, oh, how can you do that? What a horrible person. That's just awful. And you're like, what do you mean? I work at the post office. What's wrong with that? Well, you're a sinner. You're going to hell. You should be ashamed of yourself. And they'll make up the stupidest fucking reasons. And it's all make-believe. And that's the whole point. It's make-believe. It's not real. And they know it. This is why they laugh at you a lot. Because you're like, really? Oh, I didn't know that. And they grin at you. They're grinning because they're like, oh, you're such an idiot. I just made that up. It's fake. In my case, I'll give you one example. This guy invited, he goes, you got to go to this restaurant. It's my favorite restaurant. You'll love it. You'll love it. So he's inviting me to his favorite restaurant. By the way, he's a white guy too. So we get there because I'm going to order you the dish. And it was a burrito shop. He's, I'm going to order you the best burrito here, bro. Just let me order. I'm like, all right, fine, man. Go ahead and order. Fine. So we sit down, it gets served us, I start to eat it, and literally after 5 seconds, I'm enjoying the food. He looks at me and says, really? Oh, man. Wow. I'm like, what? He looks at the burrito, he looks at me, looks around the restaurant. I'm like, yeah, are you trying to say something? Is something wrong? Are you upset? He goes, really, man? A white dude in a Mexican restaurant eating a Mexican dish, a burrito? I'm like, what are you talking about? You said it was your favorite restaurant. He was trying to say that I should feel ashamed because I'm a white dude eating in a Mexican restaurant, eating a burrito. And I figured it out really quick, like, oh, he's trying to shame me right now. So I asked the waitress, not the waitress, but the young lady behind the cashier, who was Mexican, and I said, hey, do you know where the do you know where the burrito was invented? She goes, yeah, it was invented right here in California, in Southern California. I looked at him and I go, so is it an American dish or a Mexican dish? She goes, no, it's an American dish. It was invented by an American in America. And I looked at him and I go, so I'm a racist because I'm going to eat an American dish in America and I'm an American? And he goes, and he looked at her, he goes, really? She goes, yeah, you should Google it. And I said, yeah, you should Google it, dude. The reason why they do this is they want you to get stuck in your left brain, exactly like the serpent, because the serpent is a narcissist. The only difference is they changed the name because they're trying to hide. They want you to get stuck and feel ashamed because shame shoves you into your logical left brain because you hide from your emotions because you feel ashamed. And that's what Adam and Eve did. It said they were hiding because the serpent told them, oh, you should be ashamed because you're naked. Remember it said in the last verse, Genesis 2 verse 25, they were naked and they were not, N-O-T, not ashamed. And they were with God every day of their entire lives, and they weren't ashamed. God's not stupid and I just forgot to tell them to get dressed. No, the whole point was there was nothing wrong with it. Again, nakedness means open emotionally. That's what it really stands for. So here's the deal. The left brain reads everything as logic. Right or wrong, rules. Rule number 1, rule number 2, and it makes up rules to everything. When you read the teachings of Jesus from the right brain, it's all love. There are no rules. There's no good or bad, right or wrong, and I'm going to punish you because I'm good and you're bad. The left brain makes you look at everything as A or B testing. Well, if I'm good, that means you're bad. That means I got to look to see what you did wrong and I got to make something up. When you're in the right brain, you just love people. You don't judge people. The judgment is a left brain process. Love is a right brain process. That's why Jesus told the centurion, love is the fulfillment of all the commandments. All right, so here's my point. If you read the teachings of Jesus or the Bible through the left brain, all you're going to see is rules because it literally filters and processes everything through rules, structure, and organization. That's what the left brain does. That's how it processes. It can't help it. The right brain filters and processes everything through love. Everything is filtered through your 5 senses: see, hear, feel, smell, and taste. It's not about right or wrong. It's not about good or bad. It's not about I'm better than you. See, the left brain is the hierarchy brain. It goes up and down the line: first place, second place, third place, and they look at everyone. You're either above me or you're beneath me. The right brain looks at everyone as we're on the same page. We're on the same level. We're equals. So in this YouTube video short where it says to cover up, they show this comedian talking about Christianity, and he says, and Adam and Eve show up, and they're freaking. He goes, He says, God says, what are you wearing? And he's laughing at them. He goes, I can see everything. And then he goes on to say, this is embarrassing for me and you. And all the Christians in the crowd and all the Christians that are typing on this video short are agreeing with this guy. I'm telling you right now, God's not laughing at you, and God's not ashamed of you at all. And God doesn't want you to be ashamed, because that's what closes up. There's an artery in the lower reptilian brain. When it closes up, it gets narrow, it holds back the blood from flowing up into your larger human brain, especially your right brain, and thus it closes the door to your right brain. Now you go on. See, the left brain doesn't burn up as much energy, so it doesn't need as much fuel. And that's what this is all about. Emotions fall under two categories: love or fear. Embarrassment, shame, guilt, anxiety, doubt, confusion. Does it sound familiar? Did the Bible talk about that? Those all fall under fear. Love, peace, harmony, joy, happiness, etc. Those all fall under love. When you are in a loving state of any kind, emotional freedom, emotionally grounded, the artery relaxes and it opens up and allows the blood to flow up into the larger human brain. Thus, you're functioning off of your higher right brain. In other words, fear closes the door to the right brain. It locks you into the left brain, which is the forbidden fruit. This is what it means. So then he goes on to say, God is still saying to us, what are you wearing? He goes, I'm going to get you something to wear. Go back to Genesis 2, verse 25, the last verse in the chapter 2. It says they were naked and they were not ashamed. That's the natural state. The natural state is to be open emotionally. So you're tuned into your intuition, because that's how you can feel and hear God. It's from that space. That's how you tune into God. So now they're saying, now I'm covered by the blood of Jesus. Now, in and of itself, I understand what they're trying to say, but they're coming from a place of fear. Remember, fear closes the artery, which shoves you into your left brain. It's about right or wrong, good or bad. Am I a good person? Am I a bad person? The right brain is of love. You see things and understand things in a different way. So first of all, God never said that. God never said, here's what God is saying. Where in the Bible does it say? It does not say God is like, what are you wearing? It doesn't say that at all. So they're sharing with you what they think it means from the logical left brain, which is the tree of the forbidden fruit. The forbidden fruit, the tree of knowledge. So there's two ways to read the Bible, from fear or from love. What way do you think is the correct way to read the Bible, to understand God, to listen to God? From a state of emotional fear, from confusion, from doubt, from shame, from guilt, from fear, from being closed off from your spiritual brain, your right brain, or to open up through love, to listen to God through love, from clarity, from peace, from understanding, from love. See, when I went through my awakening, I started seeing the pieces, each verse. It didn't hit me, I didn't get it consciously right away, but I started processing in the right brain way, which is where you add things together. The left brain divides and minuses and separates. The right brain adds the pieces together, like you're putting pieces of the puzzle together. I started reading the Bible and I was like, holy shit, this actually starts, it was, not only was it making sense, it was really simple. It was really obvious. All the pieces fell into place. It wasn't like, well, yeah, this still doesn't make any sense. No, everything made sense because I was adding the pieces together like pieces of the puzzle. The more you find the right places, the more you connect them, you're like, oh, it becomes obvious. Oh, this goes here, this goes there. And the more you put the pieces together, the faster you go. And all of a sudden, you're seeing the bigger picture. So the difference is taking all the verses and putting them in A or B positions, in other words, competing against each other, dividing and separating them, or adding them together like you do with pieces of a puzzle. 1 plus 1 equals 2, 2 plus 1 equals 3, 3 plus 1 equals 4, and 4 plus 1 equals 5, and so on, and so on, and so on. If you're reading the Bible and it's confusing, it's because you're not reading it from your right brain. You're also not getting the original meanings, definitions of words from the original language at the time it was written. Now, the reason why I say at the time and from the region, whether it was Aramaic, Hebrew, or how am I forgetting the other language? Greek language. See, the reason why is because words can change meaning over time. Now, in the 70s, the word bad meant bad in the beginning, but then around mid-70s, hey, Michael, those cools are bad. That meant they were cool. It meant they were really, really good. So the word bad now started to mean good. And that became, even by the time I got to the middle of high school, everyone would say, man, that's a bad ride, dude, that's bad. It didn't mean bad at all. It meant the complete 180 degrees opposite good, like really good. You can buy Hebrew and Greek key lexicon dictionaries from those times when Jesus spoke and when other books were written, and understand what did that word mean in the time and the region where and when it was written. That's when you get the true definition of that sentence and of that word. All of a sudden, the Bible starts to make sense. Now remember, the left brain is an either-or processor. There's a rectangle and you put a line down the middle, now you have two squares. On the left square is A, on the right is square is B. And it's either or thinking. They literally say, well, it's either A or it's B. It's either you or me. Either I'm rich or you're rich. It doesn't believe in the possibility of both of us can be rich at the same time. Both of us can be happy at the same time. Both of us can support each other. People that are true A and B people, they're very competitive. Narcissist, these people will destroy you because they believe, well, if you're alive, if you're successful, that means I can't be. That's not true at all. But from the A or B paradigm, that's the way it looks. Here's the funny thing. A lot of times narcissists will make more money. They're taller than you. They're better at you. But in their mind, if you're still existing, they have to destroy you because otherwise that means you're better than them, even when it doesn't. Because this paradigm of either or means either you're better than me or I'm better than you. And if you're better than me, then I have to destroy you. It's a very destructive way of looking at human life. It's actually what cults do. They like to bloodlet animals. They like to sacrifice human beings and use blood in their rituals. This is very cult-like, okay? So here's the deal. So then why did people do this back then? And why do people believe that God's son needs to die for them? Because they were stuck in their left brain. And the left brain is this either or paradigm. Well, it's either him or us. It's either the animal or us. So let's find something perfect and pure to sacrifice to God. And then we're going to be cleansed and pured. And if that is true, then please finally open up to God. Stop killing animals. Let's take Jesus Christ. So now we're in the logical brain thinking it's either or, right or wrong. In other words, well, we can't just be accepted by God. Why not? Humans were of the left brain, which is hierarchy. The left brain is about, well, I'm in first place, you're in second, you're in third, you're in fourth, you're above me, you're beneath me. So what we have to do, we have to find someone that's above us, like a narcissist, and we have to destroy them. Oh, well, Jesus is the perfect being, the perfect creature, the perfect spirit, the perfect everything. In fact, it's God's only son. Let's kill him. And then we'll be covered by the blood of Jesus Christ, which means we're still hiding. Fine, let Jesus be the ultimate sacrifice. Come out from hiding. That's what I'm saying. Open back up to God. Here's the deal. You don't have to open up to me. You don't have to open up to your neighbor. Open up to God. Well, what is tithing? Well, killing Jesus, killing the animals, sacrificing vegetables and fruit, giving 10%. If you still believe that you have to tithe to be forgiven, you have never truly accepted the sacrifice of Jesus Christ. Number one, you don't have to pay God. You don't have to buy God off. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to live a perfect and sinless life. All you have to do is, it's a gift. It's in a package. It's in a box. It's even got a bow on top. God's like handing it out saying, here, and it's right in front of you. And you're just like, no, I got to earn it, God. I'll live a perfect life, or I'll keep tithing at church, or I'll keep sacrificing animals, or hey, if you give me another son, I'll kill him if you want, God. And God's like, I don't want you to kill anything. Stop killing things, please. It's a gift. When someone brings you a gift for your birthday, for New Year's, for Christmas, for the hell of it, you don't say, how much do I got to pay you? It's a fucking gift. Accept it. No, Mike, it can't be that easy. It's either A or it's B. So if I'm going to get something, I got to give them something in return. It's not the way this works, I'm telling you. Do you want to know what this gift is? It's literally called the gift of life. God just created this experience so you can experience life, so you can be happy, so you can enjoy life, to experience the flavors of fruits and vegetables and the wonders of life, whether it's the Golden Gate Bridge, the Grand Canyon, the oceans, the beaches, little ladybugs, beautiful flowers, whatever it is, art, painting, learning music. That's what life was supposed to be about. It could be about becoming a mechanic, starting a business, building a bridge. It doesn't matter. We're here just to experience life. So what do you want to experience? What do you want to enjoy? That's the point. That's the purpose. Enjoy your life. It's a gift from God. It's not a gift of punishment. It's a gift of life. See, if you look at everything through the left brain, you're going to think, well, what are the rules? Okay, I broke the rule. I got to be punished. No, God's like, who's making up these goddamn rules? Not me. It's a gift of life. Go enjoy it. Enjoy the beach. Enjoy the water. Enjoy the ocean. Enjoy fishing. Enjoy mountain climbing. Enjoy mountain bike riding. Enjoy racing. Enjoy sleeping. Enjoy meditating. Just enjoy your life. What do you really want to do with your life? Go do it. And don't let other people say, oh, you shouldn't do it. It's your life. Go do what you want to do with your life. As long as you're not harming people, controlling people, manipulating people, or anything like that, go enjoy it. The final myth, why men blame women for the Garden of Eden, is beyond me. Number one, they got tricked by the serpent, and so did men. You could say men got tricked by women. That's your fault. So if you're going to blame her, you got to blame yourself, men. But ultimately, who does God blame? Genesis 3, verse 14. And the Lord God said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all the cattle and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all day of thy life. In other words, God knows who did this. It was the serpent, and God punished the serpent. The reason why I call it opening up emotionally or emotional freedom is because when you open up, you have emotional freedom. Now you can be happy. Now you can live your life. Your body relaxes, your mind relaxes. You become more creative, more ideas, more possibilities come to you, and life becomes a lot better place to be. I hope you find your emotional freedom. If you need help with that, that's what I do for a living. I'm an NLP trainer, Ericksonian hypnotherapist, and I specialize in emotional healing. I'm also trained in something called timeline therapy, which will help you with this journey, and a bunch of other things which I'm not going to go into right now. Get a hold of me. Go to mike@mikekollin.com. Remember, click subscribe, click the like button, go ahead and make a comment. You can buy one of my men's or women's dating relationship coaching books, and or you can go ahead and make a donation. There's a PayPal link right there in the description box. Remember, click subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.